So, good morning, and I'm happy to be here, still alive, another day. I'm just thinking this morning, as we come in here from the meditation hall, so it's a really nice time to share with people what we've been thinking about. And mostly what I've been thinking about this morning is how amazing it is what the Buddha said about how all fear and suffering come from the mind. Just how powerful that idea is. It's something I've been thinking about actually for quite a while and talking with people about. We're doing some teaching now, and it's one of the, any teaching I've done, I almost always start with this idea, in the sense of that the mind is the source of happiness and the source of suffering. And so for this series of morning motivations, I really have wanted to focus on the precious human life, which is actually quite good for my practice, and I hope it's good for yours, because it's not something I would say I always naturally appreciate. And so it really makes me think. And when we had our retreat this winter, I was sharing in one of our Q&As that I have difficulty thinking about the different realms. And Venerable instructed me to think about the animal realm, because it's something I can see, I know it exists. And so thinking about how the mind is the source of suffering and pain, and it leads everything. And then you look at our turkeys that are prancing around outside. I can't figure out what they're doing. They're doing their spring dance. And they do this for hours and hours. You know, and then I look at our cats, and sometimes they're kind of dissatisfied, and it's kind of nice. They're easy. You can make them happy pretty easily because they're more simple beings in some ways, and we're, I think, a lot more complex, so a little harder to make people happy. Cats are a lot easier. But looking at what we have is this amazing ability as human beings that we wouldn't have in these other realms, you know. I don't know much about the hell realm, but I can imagine from my own experience, people I've worked with, like say in the hospital, that have been in great physical pain, and seeing people much more commonly in great mental pain, how difficult it is to actually work with your mind then. And thinking about the animals and how, you know, just like these turkeys outside, they're running around, driven, I guess, by their instincts. And like us, everything is externalized. You know, all the happiness seems to come from outside, and all the suffering seems to come from outside. And I think that the animals feel that way too. But we have this amazing capacity as humans to actually watch our minds and look and find that this is actually the case, that the mind is the source of happiness and pain, and keep trying to tear apart the way that we see things. We're always seeing things as so concrete and external. And without having this precious human life, with all the different conditions and that entails, there's no way we'd have the opportunity to do this. We'd be kind of stuck, like us attending to our cats so carefully, trying to keep them happy and so easy to do. I don't really know how to do that for the turkeys, but maybe Venerable Simke knows how to. But you know, that life will come to an end. Let's hope that they have a precious human life and are able to use this great ability that we have for introspection and for learning, and our great capacities to help to overcome this cycle of mind-created suffering.